I'd like to note this is not a deep dive, nor is it like an in-depth review. It's just a basic overview of a few EXEs I like to go over. So don't expect me to go too in-depth or too crazy on the information given here. If you've been on the internet at all in the past 14 years, you probably know what Sonic.exe is. For those who don't, Sonic.exe is the tale of some guy getting a game of Sonic from his friend telling him to destroy the game and never play it. Of course, the guy plays it, and the copy of Sonic is all wrong, Sonic having bloody eyes and killing all of his friends. This story was infamous for being very, very bad. Like, it was not written well at all. But it didn't stop the fans from doing what they do. Sonic fans, being who they are, took this story and ran with it. And now we have a catalog, a plethora of Sonic.exe variants. Some EXE, 2011X, rewrite, and a few I'd like to go over in this video. I don't want to make this intro too long, but I do want to preference, again, that this isn't a deep dive. It's just an overview. I'm just talking about them because I really like these EXEs and I think they're really interesting. I suggest you go out and support the official creators. Everything I use will be in the description, of course, so check that out, because I only edited the video. I didn't make anything that's used in the video. So again, please support the official creators.
There you are.
On My Way Sonic, or Sonic.omw, is a very interesting spin on the EXE brand. Created by KGBepis, this Sonic has the ability to grow taller with every ring he collects. So the more rings he gets throughout the game, the more he grows in size. The story begins with Sonic going throughout Palm Tree Panic and just collecting rings, but as he does go through Palm Tree Panic, he just gets bigger and bigger until he reaches the end of the level. Then you switch over to Tails. Tails is running through Palm Tree Panic until he runs into Sonic, which Sonic asks Tails if he wants to see something cool, which Tails says yes, and then Sonic grows to an immense size.
Hey,
Hey.
wanna see something cool?
Okay.
Tails naturally runs away from Sonic. Of course, if you do beat the level, Tails is spared, but if you don't, you do get a pretty sick song and a pretty funny death cutscene.
Whew.
Hey.
Upon clearing Tails' level, you switch over to Knuckles, who's at Wacky Workbench for God knows what reason. While Knuckles is at Wacky Workbench, Sonic is gazing above the clouds. Literally, his head is over the clouds, and his chest. Most of his body is above the clouds.
Man, I'm higher up than I thought. I can't even see the ground. The sun feels great from up here, though. Jeez. Hope that's not permanent. Gotta watch my step. Everything's blurry now.
He looks into the sun and realizes that was not a good idea, burning his eyes, and now he can't see until they recover. So he's now stumbling around, unable to see. This is bad for Knuckles, who happens to be right underneath Sonic's foot at the time. So now Knuckles has to run for his life and avoid the I don't even know what those things are. Bouncy spring things? I don't know. He has to avoid them. If you don't, Knuckles will get crushed beneath Sonic's foot. So, yeah. It's not as funny as Tails' death. It's just... yeah. After clearing Knuckles' stage, you'll be put into Eggman, who has detected a cataclysmic event is imminent. Of course, he doesn't know this is Sonic at the time, so he just assumes that this is someone else going to destroy the entire universe. So, Eggman stops his plans to destroy Sonic and goes to deal with the cataclysmic event. Of course, on his way, he's unable to do it alone, so he calls in Metal Sonic, prompting a minigame where you have to survive for 180 seconds while Metal Sonic shows up. If you do last the 180 seconds, you just get a run where everyone gets away. I don't think anything special happens last time I remember playing. If you don't, then Eggman will be thrown into orbit by Sonic.
Blasted gas-guzzling piece of...
Whoa.
Oh no.
Thought I'd find you here. This time I'm one step ahead of you, Doc.
Sonic? The cataclysmic being? It's you?
Ho ho! You noticed the new look? Tough luck for you though. I'm just as good at kicking balls.
Cataclysmic Redseas07.
Hey, I'm talking to the doc!
Sonic, listen to me. Your rate of Y-axis expansion shows no sign of stopping. If this continues, reality itself will...
Bon voyage, egghead! Well, guess I overdid it there. Oh well, these lifts are worse.
So, yes, yeah. You'll notice throughout the entire time, Sonic is not taking anything seriously. After stepping on Knuckles, he goes, "Oops, my bad." Or Tails when he says, "Imagine being that short, couldn't be me." Or the whole confrontation with Eggman where he's just constantly just joking around. He's ignoring Eggman in Eggman's attempt to warn him that cataclysmic event is him. Of course, Sonic, just thinking Eggman is being Eggman, just gets rid of him. Of course, Sonic is constantly growing, like at a constant rate. So his world is unable to sustain him, eventually breaking reality. Before reality breaks, he does give a speech.
Fate is cruel, isn't it? Every movement is excruciating, yet my body walks on its own. Time is lost to me now. Every second passes in a week. Every time a tree falls, it's like a needle picks at my brain. I remember something Tails said, to look on the bright side. I didn't think much of it at the time. And it wasn't dizzying just to breathe. And now I can see the planet. I cast too big a shadow to see the light anymore. Sorry, little buddy.
You fool. You absolute moron. Do you not realize what you have done?
No.
In this speech, he seems almost sad, like he wish he could have taken this more seriously, and he's having a lot of regret about his actions now, but he hit the point of no return. He can't go back, ever.
Piece of light. to something so obvious. The seams of reality itself have been torn apart. Everything I held dear is now oblivion by my hands. They were right. I'm a hopeless fool. This is what happens.
On My Way Sonic is kind of a tragic tale. He didn't want to kill or hurt anyone. He just got too big and didn't realize the consequences of most of his actions. And in the end, he ended up hurting and unaliving a lot of people. I recommend you go play the game yourself. I'll have a link to it in the description. It's really fun, actually. I like it a lot.
Just one life is enough for me to take up what we see. Fly high just for us to be. Taking the sky, not free.
Moribund is a spin on a different creepypasta, that being Sonic 0. Of course, we're going to be discussing this version being Moribund, of course, made by Redseas07, but the original creator of Sonic 0 is Michimumo, so that video will be linked in the description, because I'm not even going to try to decipher that video. I have nowhere near the brain capacity to do that. For the sake of this, I'm probably just going to call him Moribund, because it's what I'm used to calling him when talking about him. Moribund is the take on the Chimeland Sonic creepypasta made by Muchimo, in which Niku is a lost soul transported into unfamiliar world, that being inside Sonic the Hedgehog, making him technically Sonic the Hedgehog, in which they are killed over and over again in an infinite death loop. There are birds that follow him around and call a chimera to eat him, as shown in Sonic 0. Moribund is surrounded by birds that follow him. Upon singing, the birds will summon a chimera that will come and eat him. I'm not sure if the birds do the same, but hey, he doesn't attack the birds, he just knows that they're hungry, so he tries to distract them by dancing and marching so that they don't call the chimeras. Moribund is actually really interesting because it has an original song by Redseas07 called Moribund. Niku's love interest is Rosemary, which is a take on Amy, I believe. I assume by the pictures it's their take on Amy or someone else. I'm not too entirely sure, but they do have their own official theme song called Purgatory Zone, which link in the description if you want to listen to that. The song to Moribund, made by Redseas07, will also be linked in the description, so feel free to listen to those. Fun fact, the name Niku is meant to be the word meat in Japanese. At least that's what the wiki says, so I trust that the wiki wouldn't lie to me. Then again, it is a fandom wiki, so take that with a grain of salt. I really wish there was more to say on Moribund. It's just, I can't get into it without discussing the original, and the original is way too complex for me to understand, but I really like Moribund and I really want to talk about him, so I'll link a different video to a better in-depth description of Moribund for those who are interested in him. I really recommend looking into this EXE. He's really, really interesting.
Oh, please, Sebastian. Wasn't it you who wanted to go back to your memories? Trying to change the past to get a different future. Don't be so stupid. You can't change time.
Clocko Sonic, created by Ray Art AR, Childhood Has Passed, though I'm probably just gonna call him Clocko Sonic because it's shorter and easier. Clocko Sonic isn't a demon, nor is he the soul of a dead person. He's the entity created from harmful nostalgia. He's the representation of intrusive thoughts that don't let you move forward in life. He's the memories that do not allow you to concentrate on the present. Clocko Sonic, while is existing, he cannot physically touch anyone. He can communicate verbally, and he can only appear through mirrors upon his first interaction with a person. The more power he gains over a victim's mind allows him to reflect in more things. So if it casts a reflection, he can appear in it, even going as far as appearing in the reflection of someone's eye. Clocko Sonic is an entity locked in a fourth dimension. The wiki says it's time. I don't know, I guess it's a time dimension. Knowing that he cannot escape, he seeks to learn a way to communicate through reflexes. Clockosonic is a hive mind entity. All the reflections we see throughout his story are not him, but they are a version of him that has the same mind as him. All the memories he shares, everything he sees, it's still him, but not actually him. Clockosonic's personal purpose is to find a way to escape his confinement. He can be in the past, present, future, all at the same time. For him, time is a physical thing in which he can walk and be at the same time, meaning he can exist throughout time. Obviously, that's what I just said. Although it is impossible for him to escape, he knows he can escape because he's been in every moment of time, including the future, and there is no reality or possibility for him to escape. Yet, he still tries and won't give up, because he considers it his personal hell. If at some point he does escape, each of his reflections would go out into the physical plane, invading every world where he is. But it's technically impossible because he'll never escape. The more you resort to Clockosonic, the more power he'll have over your mind, as the clock on his torso indicates which phase he's in. Once the clock cycle is finished, he will reach his final form, leaving the victim in a vegetable-like state, unable to move, but still conscious, kind of like a coma. Once the victim falls, a new reflection will appear for the next victim. Clockosonic's voice can change depending on what phase he's currently in.
Oh, please, Sebastian. Wasn't it you who wanted to go back to your memories? Trying to change the past to get a different future? Don't be so stupid. You can't change time. I am in everything that reflects.
Yeah, Clockosonic can take the form of any video game character, not just Sonic. So, he can be Mario, Pac-Man, Crash Bandicoot. It just matters as long as he appeals to the person he's trying to talk to. There is an alternate variation of childhood called adulthood, which is just Shadow. I believe the name is Watch Out Shadow, something like that. I'll put a picture on screen. I didn't write it down for the script. Childhood and adulthood both hate each other passionately, so they don't really talk. If you deny Clockosonic, he'll give you a nice smile to show he has no grudge against you, and then disappear, leaving you with a headache and no memory of your encounter with him. See? What a nice smile. What a nice smile he has. It's so lovely. Well, that's gonna about do it for this video. Originally, I was gonna do 2 other EXEs, that being Needle Mouse and Hog, but I think I'll upload them separately, because, you know, that's just more content for the channel. And plus, editing this video so far is, God, it has been hell. I've been at this computer for like 3 hours. I forgot to record the outro when I was recording my lines, well, recording the script I was reading, so I'm doing this post-editing. That's about it. See ya.